Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you're new here, but my name is Dr. C. Level. My friends call me Cece. And on this channel, we just like to talk everything cool, like rocks, earth systems, all like just the relatable things like that. And what can I say? I'm a bit of a dork. And I post new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you like what you see here, please comment, like, subscribe. It does so much for the channel and helps me just get more fans like you to hear more cool facts about the earth. So I am going to share my screen. So for today's video, I decided to go a little more close to home, which I'm not really used to on this channel, but I want to talk about Yeosu, South Korea. It's where I was born. And I really want to explore what would happen with the climate crisis, as this is a southern town, and see how sea level rise will affect it. So Yeosu, South Korea is, as I said, a small coastal town. It is at 34 degrees north, 127 degrees east. It's surrounded by the Yellow Sea to the west, South China Sea to the south, and Sea of Japan to the east, also known as the East Sea. But it's really at the way southern tip of the peninsula. And the temperature is around 14 degrees Celsius. It's also influenced by the East Asian monsoon. So I want to bring a little more global context to where South Korea sits in the world. It's on the western side of the Northwest Pacific Ocean basin. And this gyre flows in a clockwise direction, same direction as the winds, not due to the winds, but I have another video to talk about all the fun dynamics of ocean gyres and Ekman transport, pressure differentials, Coriolis force. We love it. But back to the point of the video, what happens is, because it's flowing in a clockwise direction, we're getting a lot of warm equatorial waters coming and making its way to the western edge and concentrating there due to western intensification. And this whole system is getting reinforced by Walker circulation during La Nina years, the more normal years, because the Western Pacific is so warm. You get a lot of warm air rising and eventually condensing because saturation wave pressure. But this reinforces the trade wind circulation, which then further reinforces the transport of warm ocean water to the western edge of the basin. So sea level rise happens due to the melting of glaciers and ice sheets, which feed more water into the ocean system, and due to the thermal expansion of water as it heats up. So like other places in the world, Yeosu is also set to get warmer as in other places. I want to show you this upward trend that we're to expect. So in this data here, we see sea level rising in all three of the surrounding seas. And from this data, there's some magnitudes of 2 to 3 millimeters per year. But in a more recent study by Watson in 2019, they found that actually the rate is increasing a little bit more than we expect, and Sea of Japan being 3.54 millimeters and Yellow Sea 3.33 millimeters. And Sea of Japan is supposed to be increasing at a faster rate because it is likely due to being a more direct interaction with the ocean basin. Sea level rise will be super important as we try to think about the effect it'll have on storms and flooding, and precipitation will just only add to those, compound to those effects. So I plotted here 2006 precipitation, 2096 precipitation in July. I want to explore peak rain monsoon season time, and as you can see, it increases both in amount and extent. And during the monsoon season, the East Asian monsoon, one of the largest in the monsoon systems, it will bring in water from southeasterly winds that are bringing water from the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and up onto Japan, China, and Korea. So just a lot more water coming into warm water coming to the system as well, really wet. Typhoons are tropical storms that form from the interaction of the winds and warm water, and over time we can likely expect more typhoons to make landfall. Usually it's only supposed to be once a year, but this past year in 2020 there were 3 in pretty quick succession, and they were all very super severe. And as you can see here, this South Korea is still within the path for these typhoons, and they're only getting worse over time. So here's some pictures of what flooding has looked like and is projected to look like by 2100. And so coastal protection is going to be super important. Two provinces that are already working on that are Busan and Jeju-do, which are one, that the latter being an island, and they're just putting in more time for their agriculture infrastructure and building that up, and as well as trying to figure out different ways to signal danger for flooding and water management as a whole. So yeah, there's no really happy ending here. I'm really sorry. I don't like to end my videos on a sad note, but this is a picture of what Yeosu looks like. It's my hometown. I didn't grow up here, but it's what it's supposed to look like. And I hope one day that I do get a chance to go visit and look at it before it's too late. So thank you.